Have you ever found yourself pondering what life might look like as you age, especially when facing the reality of living alone? As we journey through life, many of us will encounter this phase, often filled with both challenges and unexpected rewards. In this video, we'll explore how living alone in old age can lead to profound self-discovery, the development of new routines, and even the rediscovery of long-lost passions. Stay tuned until the end, because you'll hear inspiring stories from those who have embraced this new chapter and learn to find joy in the simplest moments. Their experiences might just change your perspective on aging and inspire you to cherish your own journey. Before we begin, I would appreciate it if you like this video. You can help me continue to spread the old age lesson. If you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. If you like this video, please comment number 1. If you don't like it, comment number 0 to let me know so I can make a better video for you. Now let's get started. Number 1. Reconnecting with ourselves. One of the most profound insights I've come across is the transformative power of living alone, particularly how it enables us to reconnect with our inner selves. Many individuals who have experienced solitude describe it as an opportunity to peel back the layers of their lives and rediscover their true essence, free from the constant distractions that often cloud our identities. Take, for instance, the story of Margaret, a 65-year-old woman who bravely shared her journey on a Reddit thread. After the loss of her husband, she found herself moving into a small apartment, grappling with an uncertain future that loomed before her. In this new chapter of her life, for the first time in years, she was left with no one to care for and no shared daily routines to follow. Initially, Margaret admitted that the silence was almost deafening, an unsettling void that echoed through her home. The absence of familiar voices and shared laughter made her feel isolated, as if she were adrift in a sea of solitude. However, as time passed, Margaret began to embrace this quietude, gradually realizing that it provided a unique space for introspection and growth. She found herself rediscovering passions that had lain dormant for far too long, like gardening, a hobby she once cherished but had set aside amidst the busyness of life. Starting with a few modest pots of herbs on her windowsill, she nurtured these plants with love and care. Over time, her collection blossomed, and she now affectionately jokes that she has become the crazy plant lady, with her entire balcony transformed into a vibrant oasis of greenery. Margaret's journey of reconnecting with herself was not instantaneous. It unfolded gradually, like the petals of a flower blooming in the sunlight. Through her experiences, she learned that solitude doesn't equate to loneliness. Instead, it can serve as a catalyst for personal discovery. It's a chance to engage with the activities that ignite our spirits and fill our time with joy and fulfillment. Now, as she sits down with a warm cup of tea, gazing at her flourishing plants, Margaret experiences a profound sense of peace and tranquility that had eluded her for years. In these quiet moments of reflection, she recognizes that living alone can be a beautiful and enriching experience, allowing us to embrace our true selves and cultivate a life filled with purpose and joy. Number 2. Developing new routines and rituals. Living alone presents a unique opportunity to cultivate a daily structure that aligns with our individual needs and preferences, often leading to the creation of new routines or rituals that enrich our lives. Many individuals have shared their experiences of designing morning rituals that reflect their personalities and desires. Whether it involves savoring a warm cup of tea while soaking in the beauty of a sunrise, engaging in a mindful yoga session, or simply sitting in tranquil silence to map out the day ahead, these practices can foster a profound sense of fulfillment. Take, for instance, John, a retired engineer who recently shared his insights in an online video. After spending decades adhering to a strict schedule that required him to rise at 5:00 a.m. for work, he has finally granted himself the luxury of sleeping in without the constraints of a corporate routine. Now, his mornings unfold at a gentle pace, allowing him to relish his coffee while immersing himself in the newspaper, an activity he previously found impossible due to time constraints. Additionally, he has instituted a delightful new tradition, taking a leisurely 20-minute walk around his neighborhood every afternoon. John expressed how this newly established routine has infused his days with a sense of rhythm and purpose, transforming what was once a series of unstructured hours into a cohesive and meaningful flow. Similarly, we can look at the experience of Lily, a widow in her early 70s, who has found solace in her own evening ritual. Each night, she creates a serene atmosphere by lighting candles and indulging in a warm bath, all while getting lost in the pages of a captivating book. This practice has evolved into a cherished ritual that not only helps her unwind after a long day, but also offers her a moment of reflection and self-connection. Lily described how this simple act of self-care has transformed her nights from periods of loneliness into opportunities for comfort and tranquility. Embracing this ritual has allowed her to fully appreciate the calm that accompanies solitude, turning her evenings into a sanctuary of peace and introspection. In both cases, we see how developing new routines and rituals can profoundly impact our lives when we embrace the quietude of living alone. By consciously crafting these personal practices, individuals like John and Lily are not just filling time, they are actively creating spaces for joy, reflection, and connection with themselves. If you are still watching this video and finding these lessons useful, please comment number 1 below to let me know that you are still watching this video with me. Thank you for your valuable time. Number 3. Becoming more self-reliant. Living alone cultivates a profound sense of self-reliance that manifests in both practical and emotional ways when you navigate life solo. The responsibility for managing every facet of your daily existence, from grocery shopping to home maintenance and health decisions, falls squarely on your shoulders. While this responsibility can initially feel overwhelming, it also brings with it an incredible sense of accomplishment and independence. Take the case of Arthur, a 68-year-old man whose journey into self-reliance began after the loss of his beloved wife. Following her passing, Arthur found himself in a daunting new reality. He candidly shared his experiences on a popular online forum, expressing how unprepared he felt for the day-to-day tasks that he had previously taken for granted. Cooking and maintaining the household became particularly challenging, having relied on his wife's culinary skills throughout their marriage. Arthur had never ventured beyond making simple dishes like toast and scrambled eggs. However, the void left by his wife compelled him to adapt. Determined to learn, Arthur turned to YouTube, where he discovered a treasure trove of cooking tutorials tailored for beginners. His first culinary triumph was a straightforward pasta dish, which he excitedly prepared and later showcased to his online community. Although he humorously acknowledged that the meal was far from gourmet, the pride he felt in creating something for himself was a monumental step forward in his journey toward independence. As the weeks went by, Arthur's culinary skills blossomed. He began experimenting with different recipes, challenging himself to try new ingredients and techniques. With each successful dish, he would often jest that his late wife would have been pleasantly surprised by his newfound prowess in the kitchen. This transformation into a more self-reliant individual not only boosted Arthur's confidence but also instilled in him a sense of accomplishment that had previously eluded him. Similarly, Joyce, a woman who had never given much thought to home maintenance, discovered her own path to self-sufficiency after moving into a cozy house on her own. Initially daunted by the prospect of fixing things, she turned to online forums and instructional videos for guidance. Through her determination, she learned how to tackle a variety of household tasks, from unclogging a sink to changing light fixtures, and even building her own bookshelves. Reflecting on her experiences, Joyce remarked that the journey toward becoming more self-sufficient was indeed a steep learning curve, but it filled her with a profound sense of pride. "I never thought I'd be the handy one in the house," she wrote in the post, "but it turns out I'm stronger and more capable than I ever gave myself credit for." Her journey not only highlighted her growing skills but also reinforced her self-belief, demonstrating how living alone can serve as a powerful catalyst for personal growth and resilience. Through the stories of Arthur and Joyce, it becomes clear that embracing self-reliance can lead to unexpected joys and newfound capabilities, transforming challenges into opportunities for personal development and empowerment. Number 4. Rediscovering old hobbies and exploring new interests. One of the most unexpected and delightful gifts of living alone is the newfound freedom to immerse yourself in hobbies, both those you may have long neglected and new interests that you've always wanted to explore. Whether it's the thrill of dusting off the paintbrushes that have sat idle for years or the excitement of learning to play the piano for the very first time, living independently provides you with the time and space to dive deeply into activities that genuinely ignite your passion and creativity. Take Carol, for instance, a vibrant woman in her mid-70s who recently opened up about her journey of rediscovering her love for painting. For over 4 decades, she had set aside her paintbrushes, but after retiring and transitioning to a life of solitude, she found herself yearning for a creative outlet to fill her days. In a heartfelt post, Carol described how she began attending local art classes, immersing herself in a community that was, surprisingly, comprised mostly of individuals half her age. Yet she felt no sense of discomfort or hesitation. Instead, she reveled in the fresh perspectives and energy around her. Before long, Carol transformed a small corner of her living room into a cozy mini studio where her creativity could flourish. Her walls now proudly display a vibrant collection of her artwork, each piece reflecting her unique perspective and emotions. In her reflections, she expressed that painting has become much more than just a hobby. It has evolved into a therapeutic practice, a vital means of expressing herself and reconnecting with the spirited artist she once was. Carol's inspiring story serves as a beautiful reminder that it's never too late to revisit and reignite old passions, proving that creativity knows no age limit. Similarly, there's Bill, a 72-year-old who resides alone in sunny Florida. After the passing of his beloved wife, Bill found himself engulfed in grief, often wrestling with feelings of restlessness and loneliness. However, one serene afternoon, while sitting quietly in his backyard, he discovered a new form of solace: bird watching. As he observed the variety of birds flitting in and out of his garden, A spark of curiosity ignited within him. Motivated by this newfound interest, he began keeping a detailed journal of the different bird species he encountered, eventually investing in a sturdy pair of binoculars to enhance his observations. In a thoughtful comment, Bill shared how birdwatching has become a vital part of his healing process. "I've come to realize that life continues in the smallest, most beautiful ways, even when it feels as though time is standing still," he remarked. Bill's experience highlights how engaging with nature can foster a sense of peace and connection, showcasing that sometimes the simplest pleasures can lead to profound transformations in our lives. Both Carol and Bill illustrate how living alone can open doors to rediscovering long-forgotten hobbies and exploring new interests, ultimately enriching their lives in unexpected and fulfilling ways. If you are still watching this video and finding these lessons useful, please comment number 2 below to let me know that you are still watching this video with me. Thank you for your valuable time. Number 5. Building stronger connections with others on your own terms. Living alone is often mistakenly equated with isolation, but in reality, it can be a gateway to more meaningful social interactions. Many individuals discover that solitude provides them with the energy and mental space to thoughtfully choose who they want to spend their time with. This newfound freedom allows them to reach out to those who genuinely enrich their lives, resulting in deeper, more fulfilling relationships. Take Doris, for instance, a vibrant woman in her late 60s, who shared her experience of how living alone has positively transformed her relationships with her children and friends. With no one else to care for in her household, Doris found herself with the time and motivation to engage in more intentional social interactions. She began making regular phone calls and scheduling coffee dates, investing in her connections with loved ones. Doris remarked that she had never felt closer to her daughter than she does now. Their conversations have evolved into profound exchanges, free from the distractions and busyness of everyday life. This renewed focus has allowed them to delve into topics that truly matter, fostering a bond that feels richer and more authentic. Similarly, consider the story of James, a retired school teacher who has always identified as an introvert. Living alone provided him with the opportunity to reflect on the importance of connection in his life. He realized how much he valued deeper relationships with a select group of close friends. In response, James started scheduling weekly game nights with friends he met at a local senior center, a decision that has dramatically enhanced his social life. He enthusiastically shared that these gatherings have become the highlight of his week, filled with laughter and camaraderie. The joy he experiences during these interactions has reignited his passion for companionship and connection, emphasizing the importance of surrounding oneself with people who bring positivity and joy into life. In both Doris's and James's stories, we see that living alone doesn't equate to loneliness. Instead, it can serve as an invitation to cultivate richer relationships and engage more deeply with others. By choosing how and with whom to spend their time, individuals can foster connections that resonate with their authentic selves, leading to a more fulfilling and meaningful social life. Number 6. Facing loneliness and finding comfort in solitude. Loneliness is a common concern for many individuals living alone, particularly as they age. However, a remarkable insight shared by numerous people, including myself, is the ability to differentiate between feelings of loneliness and the enriching experience of solitude. Solitude can offer a profound sense of peace, serving as an opportunity for reflection and self-care that enriches our lives. Take Anna, a widow who candidly reflected on her battle with loneliness following the passing of her husband. Initially, the silence that enveloped her home felt overwhelmingly oppressive, amplifying her sense of isolation. Yet, as time passed, Anna gradually learned to embrace those quiet moments. She discovered a sense of tranquility in the simple act of sitting by her window, sipping a warm cup of tea while watching the sunset unfold. This ritual, she explained, evolved into a form of meditation, allowing her to reconnect with herself and appreciate the beauty of the world around her. Anna emphasized the critical importance of distinguishing between being alone and feeling lonely. Although she acknowledged that moments of loneliness still creep in from time to time, she has developed effective strategies to combat those feelings. Whether it's reaching out for a heartfelt conversation with her sister, enjoying a refreshing walk in her neighborhood, or volunteering her time at the local library, Anna has actively sought ways to foster connection and joy in her life. Her story serves as a poignant reminder that while loneliness is a natural part of the human experience, it doesn't have to define one's existence. By finding comfort in solitude and creating meaningful routines, individuals like Anna can transform their experiences of being alone into opportunities for personal growth, reflection, and renewed connection with themselves and the world around them. Number 7. Creating a space that reflects you. Living alone transforms your home into a true extension of your identity. Many individuals have embraced this unique opportunity to cultivate a living space that authentically represents who they are. From choosing decor that resonates with their personal style to rearranging furniture for optimal comfort and functionality, having the freedom to design your environment as you see fit can be a deeply rewarding experience. Take Paul, for example, a man in his 60s who discovered this creative freedom after his divorce. Moving into a small apartment marked a significant transition for him. It was as if he had been handed a blank canvas upon which to express himself. Prior to this change, Paul had never been particularly concerned with interior design, often deferring to his wife's tastes. However, now that he was living alone, he seized the opportunity to craft a space that truly mirrored his personality. Paul began his decorating journey by curating a collection of vintage movie posters that held special meaning for him. Each poster not only added character to his walls, but also served as a nostalgic reminder of films that had impacted him throughout his life. He also took great pleasure in filling his bookshelves with cherished classics, creating a mini library that reflected his love for literature. As he meticulously arranged his belongings, Paul found joy in the process of creating a cozy atmosphere. Friends and family who visit his apartment often comment on the inviting ambience, noting how the space feels warm and welcoming. Paul takes pride in his home, describing it as his sanctuary, a personal haven where he can truly relax and unwind after a long day. It has become a place of comfort and solace, where he can enjoy solitude or host gatherings with friends, confident that his living space is a true reflection of his unique tastes and preferences. In crafting a home that encapsulates his essence, Paul has not only enhanced his living environment but also fostered a deeper sense of self. Living alone allowed him to explore his creativity, curate his belongings, and ultimately transform a simple apartment into a vibrant expression of who he is. This experience resonates with many who find that living solo provides the perfect opportunity to create a space that feels genuinely theirs, reinforcing the idea that our homes can be powerful reflections of our individuality. Number 8. Exploring new perspectives on aging. Living alone can profoundly shift your perspective on aging itself. For many, this new chapter of life encourages them to embrace the aging process in innovative ways, transforming it into an adventure rather than viewing it as a decline. This fresh outlook can be incredibly liberating, opening doors to experiences they never thought were possible or even imaginable. Take Marianne, for example, a spirited 75-year-old who frequently shares her insights in online forums dedicated to the joys and challenges of aging. After the passing of her husband, Marianne found herself reflecting on her life and the dreams she had set aside over the years. Rather than succumbing to loneliness or regret, she decided to seize the opportunity to pursue her long-held aspiration of traveling to Italy, a dream that had remained on her bucket list for far too long. Her solo trip to Italy turned out to be a transformative experience. Marianne described her journey in vibrant detail, highlighting the thrill of navigating through new cities, soaking in the rich history, and tasting the exquisite flavors of Italian cuisine. Along the way, she embraced the chance to meet locals and fellow travelers from various cultures, forging connections that enriched her perspective on life. She even made the effort to pick up some Italian phrases, delighting in the challenge and joy of learning a new language. Marianne's story resonates with countless others, serving as a powerful reminder that aging can bring with it newfound courage, excitement, and a sense of adventure. It's not about what we can no longer do, but rather about what we can still experience and enjoy. Her experience illustrates that the golden years can be filled with exploration and growth, encouraging others to look at aging not as a limitation, but as a stage in life ripe with possibilities. As more individuals like Marianne embrace this mindset, they redefine what it means to age gracefully, proving that life can continue to be vibrant and fulfilling at any age. Number 9. Embracing vulnerability and acceptance. Living alone often brings about moments of vulnerability, and many individuals find that embracing this vulnerability is a crucial aspect of personal growth. The solitude that comes with living alone compels you to confront your feelings, fears, and insecurities, an introspective journey that can ultimately lead to a deeper and more profound acceptance of oneself. Take Sandra, for example, a 70-year-old retiree who bravely opened up about her struggle to accept the inevitable changes that accompany aging. After spending several years living alone, she discovered that she had to sit with her feelings of loneliness and the fears about her uncertain future. Initially, this was a challenging and uncomfortable process. However, as she navigated through these emotions, she found solace in journaling, an outlet that allowed her to articulate her thoughts and reflect on her experiences in a meaningful way. In her journal, Sandra wrote candidly about how acknowledging her vulnerability became a transformative experience. It opened doors for her to connect more deeply with others who were grappling with similar challenges. By sharing her story and her feelings, she found a supportive community of women who rallied around each other, offering encouragement and understanding. This network became a source of strength and solidarity, helping her realize that she was not alone in her struggles. Sandra's journey serves as a powerful reminder that living alone can be a path to greater self-acceptance and understanding. Instead of retreating into isolation, she embraced her vulnerability, allowing it to guide her toward personal growth and connection. Through this process, she discovered that her feelings were valid and shared by others, fostering a sense of community and belonging. Ultimately, Sandra's story illustrates that the experience of living alone, while it may initially seem daunting, can lead to profound insights and a deeper acceptance of oneself. By facing our vulnerabilities head-on, we can cultivate resilience, build meaningful connections, and embark on a journey of self-discovery that enriches our lives in unexpected ways. If you are still watching this video and finding these lessons useful, please comment number 2 below to let me know that you are still watching this video with me. Thank you for your valuable time. Number 10. Finding joy in small moments. Finally, living alone can significantly enhance your appreciation for the little things in life. Many individuals find that solitude creates a unique opportunity to savor moments they might have previously overlooked in the hustle and the daily routines. Whether it's feeling the warm sunlight gently caressing your face as you step outside, relishing the taste of a favorite meal cooked just the way you like it, or enjoying the sound of raindrops tapping on the window, living alone can teach you to seek and celebrate joy in life's small pleasures. Take, for instance, Eleanor, an 80-year-old woman who shared her inspiring journey of discovering joy and simplicity after the profound loss of her husband. In the aftermath of her grief, Eleanor found herself navigating a world that felt quieter and at times overwhelmingly empty. To cope with her feelings of loss and loneliness, she initiated a daily practice of gratitude, committing to write down 3 things she was thankful for each day. This small yet transformative habit not only provided her with structure but also allowed her to shift her focus from what was missing in her life to the abundance of beauty that surrounded her. As Eleanor began to embrace this practice, she found happiness in the most ordinary occurrences that had once passed her by unnoticed. She delighted in watching the vibrant birds flit about outside her window, their cheerful songs and graceful movements bringing a sense of life and energy to her home. Every morning she took the time to savor her cup of coffee, allowing the rich aroma to envelop her senses as she experienced the warmth of the mug in her hands. Unlike before, when she was often rushed by the demands of a busy household, Eleanor now cherished these quiet moments, allowing herself to truly enjoy each sip while reflecting on the day ahead. Eleanor's reflections on her journey serve as a poignant reminder that true joy often resides in the simplest of moments. Living alone encourages us to slow down, to pause, and to genuinely engage with our surroundings, ultimately finding happiness in experiences we might have previously taken for granted. She shared that she began to take daily walks in her neighborhood, where she noticed the changing colors of the leaves, the laughter of children playing, and even the friendly waves from neighbors she had never spoken to before. Each of these interactions became a source of joy and connection, reminding her that she was still part of a community, even in her solitude. Through her journey, Eleanor learned to appreciate the beauty in everyday life. She started keeping a journal filled with not just her gratitude lists, but also sketches and descriptions of the small joys she encountered: a flower blooming in her garden, a particularly stunning sunset, or even a simple act of kindness from a stranger. These moments, once fleeting, became treasured memories, woven into the fabric of her daily life. Eleanor's story illustrates that embracing solitude can open the door to a deeper understanding of ourselves and the world around us. As she cultivated her practice of gratitude and mindfulness, she transformed her experience of living alone into a rich tapestry of small joys and meaningful reflections. By learning to find joy in the mundane, Eleanor not only enriched her own life but also set an example for others, showing that solitude can be a powerful catalyst for personal growth and appreciation. Ultimately, this shift in perspective transforms solitude into a sanctuary for personal reflection and gratitude, allowing the small moments to blossom into sources of lasting joy. In celebrating these little things, individuals like Eleanor find that life, even in its quietest form, can be full of beauty, connection, and profound happiness. As we wrap up, we hope you've gained valuable insights into the enriching experiences that come with living alone in old age. What have you learned so far that resonates with you? We invite you to share one key takeaway and how you plan to apply it in your own life in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please leave your comment and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Your support helps us continue to create content that inspires and uplifts. Thank you for watching, and remember to embrace every moment of your journey.